And joining us in studio is Fentahun Assefa Dawit. He's Executive Director of טבקה, the Advocacy for Equality and Justice for Ethiopian Israelis. And Fentahun, let me just start by asking you, beginning next week, when that mourning period is over, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think should happen? Will the momentum of these protests be maintained?
I don't know what's going to happen. I know what should happen. I know that the Police Investigation Unit should be investigating this case very, very seriously and do one thing that they have done different in the last, for many years now. We have had so many incidents like this where the Police Investigation Unit had a biased investigation, and we don't know what happened to those cases, and police officers who committed those crimes are let free. And therefore, one thing I know is if we do not want to wake up to another wake-up call, again, too many wake-up calls, and I don't want to see another wake-up call because I don't know how it's going to end. And therefore, all the decision makers, the Police Investigation Unit, the police authorities, the government authorities, they should take this very, very seriously and do something that they haven't done in the past. That is to be able to investigate, bring the police officers to justice. Not only this one, all the police officers who have committed crime in the past, they should be put to justice.
Beyond the issue of police and the Ethiopian Israeli community, this is obviously a much bigger issue, and the claims in those protests are not just about this incident, but about overall a bigger case of discrimination. What do you think the first thing that needs to happen is? What is the first step to start moving forward so that these protests actually yield change?
You see, we've had many protests in the past. Starting from about 4 years ago, there was a soldier, Demas Fekade, who was beaten up by 2 police officers. And, Ethiopian Israelis took it to the streets. And it was a very big demonstration and protest at that time also. We've sat with the Prime Minister, with all the, leaders of the country. And all they promised us that things are going to be better. We sat down, still, I'm a member of the Interministerial Committee headed by the Prime Minister. We have met with the Prime Minister about 14 times so far. And I know he's, a genuine approach that he wants to resolve these situations.
So why isn't it happening? Why hasn't it happened yet if the Prime Minister says he wants it?
You see, there are a lot of things that are on the right track. There are a lot of things that are progressing. Having said that, an incident like this is putting us back 4 years back. Even with the police force, we've been working closer with them. And, body cameras are put in place now. They are being used not in all the country, but at the end of the year, it's our demand. Police officers are being educated about multiculturalism, how they should be behaving towards the citizens. And we demanded that a lot of Ethiopian Israelis should be recruited in the police force, and that's been done. And having said that, all these progresses are nothing compared to what happened on Sunday night. And what I'm saying here is the police force has a line of possibility that they can punish those police officers even if they are not charged on a criminal line. That means they have, on their behavioral charge, they can
make a statement. The
they
police
should make a statement,
regardless of the investigation.
and they should treat these police officers in a very, very harsh way. They should pay the price. When they do that, it will be some kind of example to the rest of the police force.
Briefly, beyond this, in terms of educating the broader Israeli public against racism, what briefly you think needs to be done?
I think education comes from school, from a young age, and this is what kids grow up knowing, grow up learning, and therefore the school system should incorporate more of, being, friendliness, more of being tolerant, more of being, accepting the other. Accepting the other means looking at him, not judging him based on his skin color, based on where he come from, based on his personality, based on he's a human being. That is what all Israelis should be learning. That's all what all the schools should be teaching the children. When you raise the children in this manner, the future will be more bright.
Something that's true for everywhere around the world, certainly. A question on the protests. In these 3 days of protests, there was a lot of discussion in and outside of them of who actually turned up. If it was exclusively the Ethiopian-Israeli community turning up or much more diverse. Were you pleased to see who took part in trying to take a stand?
Look, we do not, look for pitying us or anyone coming and joining the protest, joining the struggle that we're making. The Ethiopian Israelis have been making too many struggles because we see the challenges, we see the problems in our binoculars. Having said that, whatever we manage to put forward, whatever we manage to advance, that is the benefit that the whole Israeli society gets at the end of the day. And we see the entire Israeli society to be worried about what's happening against Ethiopian Israelis, because this is the face of the society, because this is the image of Israel, this is the image of the Israeli society, and therefore whatever we do, they should be embracing it and they should be taking part in it.
On that important message, Fentahun Assefa Dawit, thanks so much for being with us here at an important moment for that community and for the country as a whole, as you point out. We're going to turn from